rituals, right? You can have lots of goals, but goals don't mean squat. It's like New Year's. People set a New Year's resolution and 91% of people never even get close to covering it because they have this thing they want, but they have no plan, or they have a little crappy plan, but they don't have rituals, like things you're gonna do every day that make it automatic, like the ones you're creating. Like, if I do that, I'm gonna do this instead. And do that, do this. And after a while, you don't have to think about the ritual, it takes over.
Yeah.
It'll start to happen automatically for you, right? So when I look at these situations, like working with these people, I looked at it and said, okay, anyone can get those values. They have to be awakened. I start with a body. And so all of a sudden he started running, and pretty soon he's running 2 and 3 miles in a day, doing all these push-ups. And all of a sudden he's owning himself. He feels in control of his body. Once you take control of one part of yourself with discipline, I always tell people, my original teacher, Jim Rohn, used to say, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Like, if you want to have a great life, you gotta learn to discipline yourself. And if you discipline yourself in one area, it's amazing. You'll start disciplining yourself in others. And discipline sounds like a negative word, but what it really means is taking back control. And so I watched that. Then I started feeding him books to read, As a Man Thinketh. So he started to feel his thoughts are controlling and so forth. And by the time he got out like 8 years later, he was a different human being. He was a loving human being, in control of his life, a peaceful human being. So the answer to your question is, it's great to have a father, but unfortunately, many of us, I had 4 different ones, they didn't stick around. Many of us didn't have that strong father, but we can find that in a mentor.
Amen.
And we're in a world today where if you're conscious, you can go find those mentors because those people are online, or you can join an organization or something of that nature. So the answer to your question at a simplistic level is, yes, it's great to have a father, but not all fathers are there. Not all fathers are great fathers, but there's always someone out there that if you can show you're out for something more than yourself, and you're trying to accomplish something, somebody will move in your direction. That's the grace of life. But you have to first show you're committed. You gotta show you're gonna do something, in my opinion. That, to me, is what it takes. And social media, you're never gonna teach these kids not to do these things. They're gonna have to experience things, unfortunately, that are painful. What you really need is get to the parents. That's what really matters. But there's so many absent parents today because they're so stressed out. They don't know how to manage their own states. So it's not an easy thing. I don't pretend there is. But I think that's why communities, churches, environments where people are conscious about wanting to support one another are so valuable. And you can find it in many different ways, but you have to pursue it. God moves to those that are willing to do their part. I mean, faith without action is nothing, right? So it's like, you've got to do your part. You may not know everything, but if you start taking a few steps, you'll get momentum. You'll go on the journey we talked about, right? You'll meet new people. You'll have some new mentors. You'll face some new dragons, but then you'll learn to slay them. You'll develop skills and abilities you didn't know you had. You'll slay the dragon, and you'll come home the hero of your own life. And now you have gifts to give people because you've earned it, because you've become someone. You weren't just sitting around telling people you're a